to kick off the second half of today, we have a little bit more interaction with author Vanessa Shields, who I have to say I am a huge fan of. She owns Gertrude's Writing Room in Ontario, so right across the border from us. And she has also a very lovely space, which I've been meaning to check out once we're allowed back into Canada. I will be visiting for sure. So can you guys hear me okay? Is it freezing up a little bit for you?
Yeah, it's just a little bit choppy.
It is, okay. Let's see, hopefully it gets better. Emily, you're on standby if I cut out by accident. So Vanessa, we had in the chat box, I think Joella was here, but she's not here anymore. So we had a word, destiny. That was by Kristen. So maybe you can write Kristen a poem focused on destiny.
Yeah, I also had a request with a bunch of words. I'm not quite sure who it's from. Let me just scroll up because one of the things I do is put the name on it. Carol. So actually, Carol, let me put your name on it here. So I'll just turn it on. We're gonna get a nice hum from that. So I write the name of the person and the words, and then I include those words in the poem. Now I do have a little bit of leeway usually on the poem. So like if I want to make the word past tense or add an ing to kind of go with the flow of the poem, I will do that. But if I may just talk just very briefly about my books, is that okay if I do that right before I start typing? Because I think we're going to have lots of time to get some writing in. And if people want to send me words like afterwards, I can still write them a poem and make sure that I get it to them. Is that okay? Okay, sweet. Okay, so I do have a couple of books of poetry published. They are all for sale on my website, which I've listed in the chat as well. It's my name, vanessashields.com. So if you can remember my name, that's all you need to know. Most of my published work is poetry. So my first book is called I Am That Woman. And my second book is called Look at Her. And I have a new book coming out in the spring of 2021 that's called Thimbles. And that one is a collection of poetry about my grandmother. She's a immigrant from Italy, and she passed away just this past June from old age and dementia. So really it's a gift, a legacy gift in poetry for her about her life and how amazing she is. I also have a kids book that I self-published. That's kids poetry called From A to Ziffery Zanks. And it's got just like really zany, kooky pictures that local artist named Glenn Hawkes did from Windsor. And we laid this out. This is really fun, goofy, playful kids poetry. And the pictures are in black and white. So if the kids want to color them in, it kind of functions as a coloring book as well. And I would like to just read you one poem that has been a favorite. It's short, but it just speaks a little bit to my poetic voice. So I've been writing poetry since as long as I can remember. And I love poetry. My brain thinks in poetry. So like as soon as I saw the word destiny, it's like I can see these sentences coming out of what I'm going to write. And I don't know how that happens, maybe practice and years of writing, but that's kind of how my brain functions when I write. So I do have a good relationship with my poetic voice and build that instinct. For me, it's really just been practice of writing over and over and over again. But anyway, I do like to make people laugh when I write. So I like to have fun and relate to readers and write I do groceries to avoid cleaning the house. I text to avoid talking on the phone. I talk on the phone to avoid visiting someone. I send emails to avoid making a phone call. I read a novel to avoid writing one. I write poetry, or I write in my journal to avoid writing poetry. I write poetry to avoid telling the truth. I tell a lie to avoid feeling scared. I eat chocolate to avoid feeling sad. I pretend to sleep to avoid having sex. I have sex to avoid doing laundry. So that's what it looks like on the page. It's just a small, kind of fun little taste of the poetry that I like to do. If you have any questions about writing poetry, I do teach lots of classes and workshops on writing poetry. I just have started doing them virtually as well. So if you're interested, there's a link to my Gertrude's Writing Room website on my personal website. I've also put my Gertrude's Writing Room website on the chat as well. So you can just stay connected with that and see what we're offering. But if poetry is something that you're interested in, we love poetry at Gertrude's. I love poetry. I love reading and writing and teaching it. So if you're a fan of that or you want to learn, stay connected and we'll see if we can write some poetry together. So the other thing that I do is I go to events like these and I sit and I wait for people to come and talk to me and give me words to write poems. And so I'm just going to sit here right now. I'm going to turn the typewriter back on. It's quite loud, so there'll be a beautiful little typewriter hum. But really, it's just you guys sitting and watching me writing. So enjoy the awkwardness of that. But here we go. I'm going to write my first poetry on demand for Carol. And Carol's words are Santa, bell, reindeer, love, and romance. Okay, so here's what it looks like on the page. I'm just typing it up on a little cue card. And so this is for Carol, and the words are Santa, bell, reindeer, love, and romance. Santa's got a romance for bells. The way they swing and sway recalls many spring nights dancing in the big kitchen with Mrs. Claus. The way her hips swing makes Santa swoon. Santa's got a love for reindeer. He's a fan of their antlers and thick cotton fur. He's got a love for flying and the sky. Santa puts it all together on Christmas Eve, the bells, the reindeer, the love, the romance. And he flies across the kitchen sky and drops love gifts for all. Santa's got a heart for cookies and a mouth to enjoy them. So there's that poem for Carol. So Carol, what I'll do is I'll connect with Stephanie, take a picture of this and make sure that we get it to you somehow, either virtually or we can mail it to you so you have the actual copy. All right, and the next one that we're gonna do is for, whoops, turn that on. And there are some typos, which sometimes my fingers aren't that fantastic when I'm typing, especially if I'm a little bit nervous, which I am. Okay, this one is for Kristen S. And this, she lets me to write about destiny. So, Kristen, it's destiny that we're here together so I can write you a poem. So I'm gonna sit and write you a little poem about destiny. I'm trying to keep an eye here. Okay, we've got another one for Joy from Ronnie, so I'll be sure to do that as well. Oh, and Nan has sent me some words as well. Thank you. Oh, and also Joelle, she's back. Okay, so I'm not sure when my time is gonna run out. I think I have about 4 minutes left. Stephanie or someone from your team, let me know, but I'm gonna keep writing these and make sure that we get them to their rightful owners, okay? Perfect. So I hopefully will have time to get Destiny done right now, and I'll read it out loud, and then Stephanie, you just let me know when.
All right, you're good. Go for it.
Okay, awesome. Okay, this is Destiny for Kristen. Okay. Awkward staring. Okay, here we go. I'll turn this down again. So for Kristen S, Destiny. Destiny demands you pay attention. Destiny is a smile in the long grocery store line when you're sweating and grumpy. Destiny's got a gadget heart that goes into your soul and reminds you to listen. Destiny is a slip on the stairs, a knot in your hairs, a pain in your ass, the reflection in the glass. Destiny likes to deliver your joy in bundles. Destiny is from your past, dances in today so you can take the lead tomorrow. Destiny is the song you'll never get out of your beautiful, vulnerable head. So pay attention. Destiny never stops calling. Okay, and that's what that one looks like.
Vanessa, this is amazing.
Thank you, Kristen and Carol. I will get to writing the next few poems for sure. I'll turn the sound off. Clearly, it makes a lot of noise. But again, Stephanie, you just communicate with me. We'll figure out how to get these to everybody. But thank you so much, everybody. That was super fun. I'm totally for hire virtually. And then when this madness ends with the virus, I can show up with my typewriter at any event. I love to do fundraisers too, so we can raise money as we write these. So anyway, I'm here to play and write. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here, Stephanie.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. This is so fun.